Hello, Daniel.
Hello, how's it going?
Thank you for joining us at Core Start
Oh, it's my pleasure.
3.0. We are very happy that you could come to Prague to speak here. So you work in Redmond?
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So can you tell us what you are doing, what's
Sure.
your job?
Yeah, totally. So I'm a program manager on the Visual Studio team, and my team owns a lot of the tooling for Windows developers. So if you're building any sort of Windows application, you're probably using some of the tools that we provide. And specifically what we're focused on currently is providing a great path forward for developers who have a lot of investments or skills building WPF or Windows Forms application, and enabling them to incrementally adapt and add new Windows 10 platform capabilities to their applications, modernize their distribution channels, start leveraging development best practices such as modern DevOps, and really just making it so that years and years of history building these applications aren't for nothing, and so that they can really have a great path forward. So.
Yeah, so it's not only about making WinForms and WPF available on
Correct.
.NET Core.
It's not just the .NET Core.
It's also about enhancing the possibilities of the developers so they
Correct.
can leverage new features of Windows 10, such as notifications and all those
Totally.
stuff. Yeah.
And a lot of these have been possible in the past. It's just been very difficult to try to actually figure out how to do these types of things. Now it's NuGet packages, it's project templates, it's item templates. It's really integrated into the tooling so that it's an easy thing to do. Yes, add new project or add new item template.
Yeah. Great. So your session will be tomorrow. What's the topic of your session?
Yeah.
What will you be talking about?
So I'm going to be talking about DevOps practices for desktop applications. And I feel like so often in the DevOps discussion, it's all server and web focused, and the client application developer is completely neglected. But the DevOps benefits apply just as equally to client applications and desktop applications, such as more rapid iteration, faster response time to issues, just really kind of closing the developer loop to getting customer feedback and shipping new products. And so developers building client applications would have a different set of challenges. Well, there's a lot of similarities, but especially just distributing applications is one of the big key differences. In a website or a server application, the developer has full control of where the application exists at any given time. With a desktop application, it's really up to the client user, the end user, to actually update or to install and get the new binaries. And so some of the things that I'm going to talk about tomorrow is making it so that the developer does have more control and can essentially make it so that the client is getting the best experience at any given time. And then all along, you really have full control of your end-to-end build and publish and release pipeline. So you're pretty much just like a web developer in the way you deploy your applications, which.
Yeah, that's very cool because especially the distribution scenario is extremely important because distributing desktop applications, it was always difficult, always hard. You could use click once, but I haven't seen that so frequently. The only application I can imagine that was distributed via click once was Google Chrome for some time.
And now they have their own custom Omaha distribution technology.
So how about the distribution, how it works? There is the new MSIX.
Yes, so we have our MSIX is the packaging technology, and then there's a bunch of features built on top of that. And so you can consider MSIX as an evolution of the Apex technology from the past, but with an expanded set of scenarios. So you can package any Windows application using MSIX, and with MSIX Core, which is this new open source library, you can actually enable many of the MSIX scenarios down level to earlier versions of Windows, even all the way back to Windows 7. And so previously our modern deployment technology was associated only with Windows 10 or Windows 8 and 8.1, but now we're removing some of those barriers. And then on top of that, we have this app installer functionality, which is a couple of things actually. There's an app installer app that runs on Windows, which enables double click on an MSIX package to install it, just like you could previously double click an exe and run the app. It is also essentially a deployment technology that enables more advanced scenarios. So one scenario would be if you want to force your users to always be on the latest version of your application, you can do that. So when the application launches, it checks the server for an update, and if an update's available, it won't launch the application until the user updates. You can also have it check for updates seamlessly behind the scenes, so you don't want to force it, but you do want them to stay latest. It can actually install and patch your application behind the scenes automatically, and not only that, but it'll only install the differences. So it's not going to download the entire application every time there's a change. It's only going to install what changed to essentially optimize what's going on those machines. So all sorts of things to essentially be much better than Click Once ideally, and apply to all Windows applications.
Yeah, so this looks really awesome. I'm really thrilled, and I'm looking forward to September, where everything, all of that will become hopefully available. And
and I think I'm most excited just about like the whole end-to-end about bringing desktop development forward. It's not just .NET Core, that's a huge component of it, but it's also integrating with Windows 10s, it's modern best practices with DevOps, it's just building all of these tools up so that you really have a complete end-to-end desktop development solution where you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, finally, again, after a few years when everybody was worried about the desktop development maybe dying, now it looks like that there's a lot of investments in that, and there's a lot of new options. Okay, so do you have some message for the developers who are currently using .NET Framework or have been experimenting with .NET Core? So what will .NET Core 3.0 bring them? Some short message.
So I guess my message would be just get engaged with us from a community standpoint. Pretty much everything we're doing now is open source in some way. So the MSIX packaging technology is open source, .NET Core is open source, WPF and Windows Forms are open source. All of these things are built around the community and engaging with the community to make sure that we're solving real, tangible customer problems and not just building for the sake of building. And so the only way we can really make things better for developers is to hear from developers. And so find us on GitHub, either under the Microsoft or the .NET organizations. We definitely want to connect and engage with you. So.
Yeah, and shoot an issue or a pull request.
Issues, pull requests, everything.
Awesome. That's really awesome. It's great to see the change that Microsoft has been doing for the last couple of years.
I think the two big themes that I've been noticing from Windows development is really just open source and down level. And so with, for example, XAML Islands right now is only available in the May 2019 update of Windows. But with WinUI, the Windows UI library, they're actually decoupling a lot of the entire XAML platform from Windows. And they're going to bring some of that to earlier versions of Windows 10. And MSIX is coming to earlier versions of Windows. So I think it's a really exciting time to be building applications for Windows.
Okay, awesome. Great new stuff, and I'm really looking forward to your session. You arrived yesterday, so you didn't have any chance to see Prague, so I hope that you will enjoy your time in Prague.
Absolutely planning on it.
Hopefully we'll see each other on some other conference.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to it, for sure.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.